Hi, I'm Marina and today we'll talk about geisha. I'm sure all of you have heard geisha on numerous occasions. Maybe you have seen the movie Memoirs of a Geisha, maybe you read a book, maybe you've dressed as one on Halloween. But I'm sure all of you have always wondered about the mysterious lives they live. Well, today we'll leave that veil a bit and maybe we'll see a few if you are lucky, and we'll find out how much it costs to dress a geisha. Today we'll learn how many geishas are in Japan, how many are in Kyoto, and about the daily routine that they usually do on a daily basis. Okay, so let's see what actually geisha mean. So geisha, the word geisha consists of two Chinese characters, gei and sha. Gei means art in Japanese and sha means person or person doing something. Therefore, geishas are professional entertainers who are highly trained in all traditional arts such as singing, dancing, playing flute, playing shamisen, three-stringed instrument, Japanese traditional instrument, as well as the art of hospitality. Geishas also play games and engage in conversations with visitors, all in service to provide the most intimate and welcoming atmosphere for their guests. Can you believe it? The original geisha were actually men. They first appeared around the year 1730s, and then, about 20 years later, the profession became popular among women, and more women started dancing in front of the guests, entertaining them, and by the year 1780 they completely took over the profession, leaving the men out of the world of geisha. The original role of a geisha was an assistant to an oiran, a high-class courtesan who resided in the pleasure quarters in Tokyo, Kyoto and other major cities in Japan during Edo period, which is the beginning of 17th century to the end of 19th century. The courtesans feared geisha stealing their customers. Regulations at the time forbade geisha to form personal relationship with the customers and even to sit close to them. However, patrons visiting courtesans gradually started to gravitate towards less expensive and more socially accessible geisha, replacing oiran completely. The popularity of a geisha grew continually up until 1920s, when there were as many as 80,000 geisha throughout Japan entertaining guests. It was only when the country became involved in the international warfare that the strain on the Japanese society threatened the role and prestige of the geisha profession. In most areas of Japan, geisha are called geisha, but in Kyoto and Kanazawa they have a special name and they are called geiko. It's a very respected form to address a geisha. In Niigata, a different prefecture north of Tokyo, they are called geigi. Geisha districts where geishas live are called hanamachi, which means flower districts, and living quarters, living accommodations are called okiya, and places where they entertain guests are called ochaya. In Tokyo, there are currently 6 geisha districts, collectively called Tokyo Roku Hanamachi, and in Kyoto there are 5 geisha districts, and the most famous of them is called Gion. It is famous all over Japan and the world, and the most number of geisha and maiko live there. Currently, there are about 100 geisha and 100 maiko, apprentice of a geisha, live in Kyoto. About 50 of them live in Kanazawa, a different city, and then about 20 in Niigata, 5 live in Sakata and in other districts or prefectures in Japan. To become a geisha, a girl around 14-15 years old enters okiya for comprehensive training in all forms of traditional Japanese art and hospitality for about 4 years. For some it will take 3 years, for some 5, but on average it will be 4 years of very comprehensive training. While a girl is a maiko, she will wear a very elaborate kimono, a very long obi, which is a sash, and many elaborate and beautiful accessories. So can you guess how much Maiko outfit can cost? Okay, I'll give you a hint. So brooches that Maiko wears usually on her belt, on her obi, will start from about 40,000 US dollars. Small decoration for the tiny belt on the obi, which is called pochiri, and it's usually studded with precious or semi-precious stones, will start from around $5,000. So now I only told you about accessories for the belt and for the tiny arrangement for the belt. And total it came out to about $45,000. Based on this, what's your final guess of the total cost for Maiko outfit? Okay, here. Okay. Well, the correct answer, the total price of Maiko outfit will cost around $200,000. Maiko cannot put many layers of kimono and hair accessories and obi belts by herself. Therefore, there is a special profession specially created for Maiko that's called Otoshi. It's a man who possesses physical power to tie a belt, obi, which is 8-10 meters long. And this man runs around from okiya to okiya, tying the belts for Maiko from around 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., helping Maiko to get ready for their daily routine. When Maiko is only in her first year of training, she is easily recognized by a very long hair accessory and by a lip which is painted only at the bottom. The upper lip is painted in white. For the third and second year, when they are in training, they will put the upper lip in red as well. So only for the first year, Maiko wears only lipstick on the bottom lip, and she wears very long hair accessories. Geisha's kimono is not as elaborate as Maiko's, but it's more embellished than the kimono of a regular Japanese woman. Hairstyles of Geiko and Maiko are also different. While Geisha wears a wig, Maiko wears a hairstyle called wareshinobu, where a special padded silk is inserted into the sides of Maiko hairstyle and covered by her own hair. This hairstyle is not easy to make by yourself, therefore there is a special hairdresser in the Geisha and Maiko district specially designed to make their hairstyles. So to maintain such hairstyle, Maiko goes to hairdresser once a week in summer and once in 2 weeks in winter. And in order to maintain the hairstyle for such a long period of time, they sleep on a special pillow called takamakura, which is a very hard and small pillow. Every spring, all 5 geisha districts in Kyoto have special performance that run between 2 to 4 weeks for all visitors to enjoy reasonably priced and very well choreographed dance of Maiko and Geisha. And now some facts about Maiko and Geisha. Maiko can never completely relax at home. They always have to keep subordination and proper manners in front of seniors who live in the same house. They only have 5 holidays per year. Can you imagine that? Only 5. They can never use cell phones while they are in training. Well, that was before the pandemic. Ryote restaurants and ochaya, tea houses, are exclusive venues where Geisha and Maiko perform their dance. VIP guests go there to have their deals and to be sure they're in complete privacy. And the admittance to tea houses and such restaurants are by introduction only. No one can go and knock on the door from the street and say, "May I come in?" Everyone who comes to ochaya has to be introduced by a person who's been to this uchaya before. Geisha and Maiko often have business trips. They can travel not only within the country, but they can also go overseas to entertain guests around the world. Geisha and Maiko can also entertain women. And only this year, because of COVID-19, they actually started online broadcasting for people who cannot travel, and to give them opportunity to see geisha and experience their hospitality online. In Japan, geishas are considered to be a celebrity. It's not usual for a common Japanese person to see geisha or to be entertained by one. It's usually a privilege left to people in politics or people in big corporations. But there is opportunity for all of you to see geisha dance during their spring performances that happen from February to May in Kyoto. So these were just a few facts from the life of a geisha, and I'll be talking about more experiences in the future. If you have any comments or questions about the mysterious life of geishas, please leave your comments below and I'll try to answer as many as I can. And also please subscribe to my channel so you won't miss new episodes. Thank you for being with me and see you next time!